Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into something many folks wait all year for the 2024 Berkshire Hathaway shareholder letter from Warren Buffett.
Yeah, always packed with insights.
Exactly. And our mission here is, well, pretty straightforward. Pull out the core wisdom, the key takeaways for you so you get the essence of Buffett's thinking without needing to read the whole thing yourself.
And it's striking how consistent he is. This year, no different, really. He kicks off being quite candid about mistakes. Says they just happen.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. It's not about avoiding errors completely, is it? It sounds more like focusing on the overall score.
That's it. He uses that baseball analogy, a good batting average, sure, but also aiming for those sluggers.
So you'll have some misses, some strikeouts, but the home runs, those need to be big ones, right?
Precisely. And, accepting that mistakes are inevitable kind of flows naturally into the next big theme, the power of a long-term perspective.
Right. Holding on.
Yeah, holding on. He really hammers home that just one fantastic investment decision held over time can have this, well, breathtaking impact. It makes earlier missteps just fade in importance.
And he uses real examples, doesn't he? Like Coca-Cola, American Express.
Mm-hmm. Those classics. Investments they've held for ages, their success has just been so huge over the long haul that, any early doubts are long forgotten.
Which kind of leads to something else that stood out to me.
Yeah.
This preference for actually owning businesses.
Oh, absolutely. Berkshire clearly leans towards owning companies outright, or at least having really significant stakes, rather than just sitting on massive piles of cash long term.
Is there a specific reason for that?
Well, the letter suggests it's partly about concerns over paper money, fiscal policy potentially devaluing currency over time. Good businesses, they argue, tend to hold their real value better through all that.
That makes a lot of sense. And it feels connected to his point about transparency, too.
Definitely. He really emphasizes being open with shareholders, even admitting when they got capital allocation wrong or made personnel mistakes.
Which you don't always see.
Right?
Yeah.
Not always,
Yeah.
no. He seems concerned about companies that almost avoid words like mistake. Buffett sees admitting errors as crucial for trust and, well, for learning.
And despite admitting mistakes, the performance was strong in 2024.
Yeah, impressive operating earnings, actually. A few things helped there. The insurance side did really well. Geico turned around nicely.
Aye.
And they also got better returns on their cash and bonds because interest rates went up.
So the underlying engine is still humming. It really reinforces his basic faith in American business, doesn't it?
That's a cornerstone for sure. Always has been. Even with international operations, he states clearly that Berkshire's main focus, its capital, is primarily going into American companies. Still believes in their resilience.
And how they use that capital, it's very deliberate. They seem to prefer putting profits back into the businesses.
Yes, reinvesting profits is the priority if they think it'll generate better long-term returns for shareholders than just, say, paying out dividends.
And share buybacks.
They do them, but only when the price seems right, Sensible compared to what they think the business is actually worth its intrinsic value. It's very value focused.
It feels like it all circles back to this theme of learning, adapting. He even mentions the original Berkshire textile business.
Yeah, that famous early mistake. Buying into textiles wasn't the winning move long term.
But it's a lesson.
Exactly. A powerful reminder that you have to learn from the past, even the big screw-ups, and be willing to change course to keep succeeding.
Okay, so boiling it down. Embrace mistakes. Think long-term. Value owning good businesses. Be transparent. Believe in the U.S. system. Allocate capital wisely. And crucially, keep learning and adapting.
Pretty much sums it up, which leads to maybe a final thought for you listening. These ideas, long-term thinking, adapting, they aren't just for investing, are they?
Good.
Think about your own work, your own learning. Is there maybe a textile business in your life, something you're holding on to perhaps, that you might need to adapt away from to find greater success down the road? Something to consider.